Yo! Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're all doing well out there. Feeling it. Nice little meditative thing this morning. Let's see here. How do we make this today? For those that are interested, following along, got a combination of, surprise, surprise, metaphysical function here. Got a little XO here, holding down the beat in the background. Of course, little Euclidean melody. And just a little bit of noise. It's like a super simple thing. I'll solo them for you really quick. Talk about subtle, right? This is subtle. This is subtle. This is the Euclidean melodies, although it's all messed up. It's running through a couple instances of Portal. Drums, running through some Portal and some step effects. And metaphysical function, because. Let's see who's here. Hey, Saf, you're first. Happy Friday, homie. Hope you're doing well. Saffron has posted a link to his album. Saf, I'm not sure if people that join after you post something in the chat see your link, so if you want to spam it again later, you can. Dino, welcome in. Happy Friday, homie. Saffron, the science fair was awesome. Thank you for asking. OhmLab is here. Am I seriously your favorite person? We might need to get you out into the world a little bit more. Nano's here. How you doing, Ben? Who else is here? Paul is here, tuning in from sunny Maryland. It is sopping wet here in Portland, and it has just been spontaneously dropping in temperature and snowing randomly again and again and again. All week it's doing it right now. We're not expecting snow, but we get snow. So I guess at this point we should probably just start expecting it. We should use a feedback command. Oh, I don't have one in there, do I? It's just Discord, huh? I'll set one up. Streamlabs. Bad Gear review, Massive on this week. Massive was on this week's episode? Like the original Massive? On Bad Gear? Man. Some people just not understanding the course of history. Kyan's here. How you doing, homie? Welcome in. Zendremic? It's Friday, gang. What'd y'all bring? Baking cookies, says Ben. Nanowires, what kind of cookies are you baking? I am interested. What is everybody's favorite kind of cookie? Let's have it in the chat. Let's have it out. I'm not saying you're claiming that it is the best cookie. We're not having any of that. But what is your favorite cookie? Or one of your favorite cookies? It's tough to pick one. You know, are you one of those people that, like, you really cherish snickerdoodles, but they're not a cookie you see often, yet they are your favorite, right? You know what I mean? Girl Scout Thin Mints. You got those no-bake cookies. You got cookie bars. Traditional chocolate chip. You got those sugar cookies with the frosting on them. Gingerbread, which we cut into little people and then eat them like cannibalistic giants or something. Okay, here we go. People are here for this one. Bad Gear reviews, good Gear 2. I think he liked Massive, though he noted it is dated. Yeah. That's funny. Ardlap says lemon almond. Ooh, yeah, it's tasty. Lemon almond. Now, is that a soft baked cookie? Or is this like hard heart, like biscotti? Or where are we at with this one? Paul says the Otterbane chocolate chip. Nano says chocolate chip with almond brittle. Dino says Oreo. Bubble Miles says hi. Hey Bubble, how you doing? Paul says Girl Scout cookies suck. Yes, I said that. Paul, if you ever have flipped over the package and read the ingredients, there is nowhere on the actual ingredients does it say that there are Girl Scouts in those cookies. And yet they're claiming it all over the rest of the packaging. You know what I mean? I don't know. Seems a little disingenuous to me. Nano says 7-layer bars are my favorite, though. 7-layer. Is that like 7-layer bean dip? But like the sweet version? Ooh, Dragonleaf Beat says shortbread. Plain and simple. That's a tough one to beat. But the question is what style of shortbread? Like, are you a Scotch shortbread person, right? Or kind of depends, right? Like, sometimes you want just a little dash of brown sugar in there. Golden things up a bit. Ardlap says, I have no idea what are Girl Scout cookies. Ardlap, here in America, we put capitalism above everything else in our childhoods to brainwash us into believing that we're going to survive this mess somehow through money. And we send our kids out into the world to knock on strangers' doors and sell them things to get money. And do they get to keep that money? No, they do not get to keep that money. Thank you for asking. They have to take that money back to the Girl Scouts of America. So that's how that works. Which is just insanity. I was in the Boy Scouts when I was little, many, many moons ago. And we sold things like candy, of course. Christmas trees, Christmas wreaths, because when you trim the trees, you get all these branches and you make wreaths out of them. And then we'll recycle your Christmas tree for it. It's all a racket, man. Can you believe that? Stuff is happening. Dino says, this ambient music is freaking me out. You know what I was just thinking? I was just thinking that I should probably actually save this project, which I rarely do. Mostly the, wait, where am I here? Streams. Most of the sets that I put together for the intro are just deleted at the end of the stream. We'll call this one Ambience too. Sorry for creeping you out, Dinah. Ardlap says lemon almond is soft, for those keeping track of this. My mother has a recipe for that. It's using almond flour. Oh, man. Okay, so it's legit. It has actual almond flour. For those that are unaware, I was a classically trained chef in a former life. This life. It was just a long time ago. Hey, Michael's here. Terahertz FM in the chat saying Cookie Monster heard. Someone say cookie? Otterbane is a Maryland brand. Very crunchy. Okay. Paul says, I learned Latin reading the Girl Scout cookie ingredient list. All right, Dragonleaf Beat says Scottish shortbread. Ben is going to post a recipe. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Something good is here. Upset the dinos here. Never say no to walkers. Oreo. Oreo. Happy Friday, something good. Oh, now look at that. 7-layer bars. This recipe was just posted by Nano. Terahertz is saying the girl who set up her Girl Scout cookie sales outside a cannabis dispensary is low-key a genius. Yeah, for real. That stuff is happening all over our area right now. Because we have dispensaries on every single block here. Oh my goodness. All right. You know what? We have, I think, another track on Saffron Works' brand new album that we're going to listen to, and then we're going to dive into everything that you guys have posted on the Discord. If you have not yet posted, throw your track up there now. Hello, Rokusai. Dino says, I was happy because of OhmLab stream. Then something good arrived. Mackenzie McKay, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Happy Friday. If you're here for some feedback and you want to be heard, drop a link in the Discord. Public feedback. You sure can. Hit the Discord. I'll that link up there for you. And Ben has also posted the Discord invite to the top of the chat for all y'all that have not seen it there yet. All right. The Firefox. Saffron, if you would like to, you can post your link again. I'm going to kill this noise in the background. Just going to get rid of all this stuff. Oh, and you guys, we have something really awesome to check out. I almost forgot to do this. We have Bloom drum breaks. The embargo is lifted, so we can speak about this now. It's a really cool thing. For those that were with us a few weeks ago when we reviewed the Bloom Vocal Aether plugin, which was pretty cool. You'll kind of know the lay of the land functionally, how this thing operates, but I think this one is way better. I think it's got way more immediate applicability and relevance to more people. So there we go. I'm older than you. I am older than your mom. Okay, so I really haven't done much with this thing yet, but I did activate it with the serial, and I did press buttons. And I will admit that I pressed buttons for more than just a few minutes because I got a little carried away. So it is fun. So I think it has my endorsement right out the gate. But it has some pretty high quality recordings backing this thing. All right, so it's got some like fairly typical stuff that you would expect. And some more interesting stuff. Let's get the BPM up a little bit on this thing. All right, so I think for those that saw the first review on the first one, the vocal one, I think one of the things that's worth the price of admission on this is the randomization features, of which there are 2. Um, so if you have no knowledge of programming stuff under the hood, or you have no interest in like rolling up your sleeves and clicking for a while to make really awesome things happen, you can load up any of the presets, of which there are many, and then start playing with the randomization features to end up with some gobsmackingly cool stuff that's actually original, right? And yours, which is refreshing for breaks. So let's play around with one of those. Okay, so this one. Let's randomize this. This will randomize the sounds being dropped into these keys here. Let's jump into the back end of this thing. It's really cool. So the basic idea of this is it's similar to arcade, where you are triggering sounds, one-shot sounds with the white keys, and you are modifying those sounds, the playback of those sounds, with some of the black keys. One of the big deviations from arcade is that there are also black keys that are controlling loops. Okay, so one-shots are on the white keys. Um, Loops are on the black keys, modifiers are on the black keys, and then on the back end, you'll see that these breaks are actually coming from high quality recordings, which you can engage with in all of the normal ways that you would expect to be able to from a sampler, as well as all the ways you would expect to from a drum machine, right? Making choke groups, all that kind of stuff. And then there's also the phrase player, which is what allows you to build up the loops. So the loops are actually being pulled from the original drum recording, and the position markers and stuff that you're engaging with the sample up here with. And then down here, you get to start controlling the trigger of those different sounds, the duration, etc., and you can start manipulating the pitch and velocity and filter saturation, compression, noise, layering, um, all sorts of stuff in here. And that's per phrase, right? So each note in each phrase can be manipulated manually. And then there's a randomization feature there too. So it's pretty sweet. As far as this type of plugin goes, like typically I get into one and I'm like, for the first 5 minutes, I'm like, this is rad. And after 10 minutes, I'm like, I'm starting to realize that it doesn't do more than this. But this one I kind of had the opposite immediate reaction to. I started playing with it and I was like, wow, this is actually incredibly deep. You could do a lot with this thing. You could do a lot, a lot. So yes, they don't give us access to the sampler engine. So I think that this is their long-term play of having expansion packs, which makes sense because this is one of the companies that's very much wrapped up in the whole Beatport Studio thing. I don't know if you guys have been following this or not, or are familiar or unfamiliar with it. But if you follow some electronic music lineage back through the years, um, and get to know Loop Masters a bit. They're a purveyor of sounds for a very long time. They have, over the years, created many different things, um, including marketplaces, creation tools, stuff like that. They acquired Beatport a while back. Anyway, those folks have put together a cloud-based studio tool that you can use. And this is one of those companies that's in there. So all their stuff is kind of flowing into the studio. So if you subscribe to their thing, then you get this stuff. Anyway, I think it makes sense for them to stay in that expansion pack model if that is kind of the route that they're taking, because their income would be protected. So um It is. Javar, welcome in, dude. It is. Yeah, this is that plugin. This one. And it actually has uh, really great sound and well thought out um, features. Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Totally agree with you about the wanting access to the sample engine for sure. Can I output MIDI? I don't think so. Well, maybe. Hold on a second here. No, I don't think so. I don't think so, but it can be controlled. Oh, wait. Maybe this is... Oh, this is just the bank. Nope, I don't think so. Oh, wait. If we go in here, though... Take, like... No, we can't. Okay. But it is MIDI controlled. It's actually really, really easy to get new stuff going. So it's easy to build kits. I don't really want to spend a whole bunch of time on this because I think that you guys are smart enough to know exactly what's happening with it and whether it's relevant to you or not even. But I'll tell you what, great tool for toppers and stuff. Right, so you take a mundane task of making something like this and just start playing around with just the patterns, right? Not changing the sounds. That's a pretty good topper right there. Let's change the sounds in that pattern. So that's the same pattern, but a totally different genre of music now. So this is more like some, I don't even know, some weird industrial tech stuff. Pretty cool. Right, and then you can take stuff like, okay, let's say we want to put a low cut. Or pitch. Right, or maybe we want to like layer in noise or something. So we can actually just like create like little embedded rhythms. It's just ridiculous. It's just almost stupid ridiculous. That's just super catchy, right? Right? It would be like a flashbang. Oh, good point. Let's see. Is there... I don't see any way... I don't see any preference options in this thing. So I think it's just this. So for what it's worth, opens program. Flashbang! Damn it. Oh. Oh, the animation not being correlated to anything playback related. Yeah, just random animation happening. Ooh. Hey now. This is C. I want saturation on this whole thing. How do I do that? All right, I'm going to stop playing. We're going to listen to something off of Saffron's album, and then we're going to dip into the links you guys have been posting on the Discord. There is a link floating around in the chat. It'll come up periodically. If you don't see it right now, it'll come up every few minutes or so during the stream today. And you can click through and grab this plus, and it's at like 35% off or something like that for the product launch right now. But you're also going to get a free copy of the Morph filter from Minimal Audio, which is super dope. It's the one that's inside of what's it called? Rift. So super good stuff. Yeah, Kyan, it's a great pickup. It's a great pickup. I keep reading Opens program flashbang. Damn it. Where am I? Oh, Kyan, let me know how you get on with it. The reason why I got a little down the rabbit hole with it this morning, I only spent like 5 minutes with it or so, is because I quickly got into sound effect territory, and I was like, oh, man. All right, let's listen to what Saf cooked up on track 7. Saf, if you want to spam your link again in the chat, you are more than welcome to do that. Drop your links in the Discord, folks. All right, we're going to save this last one for later. All right. Saffron, this album is fantastic. It's probably the best thing you've done. Respect the gazelle. Thank you so much, Rich. How you doing? Appreciate you, homie. We're going to dive into the Discord. If you have not yet posted something to the Discord and you would like to be heard today, do so now so you can be heard. Scruffy Rico, 29 months. Whew. Yeah, wild stuff, right? Let's see what's happening over here at the Discord. Bob it up. Oh, hey, speaking of Scruffy Ray, here we go. Hemisphere, something new. Oh, Rich is saying, Bugger me gotta follow the main man. Oh well, this one is something I'm still working on this week's explorations. All right, I'm going to move my notepad over to the other screen so we can watch his video in full screen. Enjoy, everybody. This is a great pass right here. Yo, Rich, dude, that's fantastic. That's just fantastic. All there is to it. Um, in that intro choir drone, it'd be cool if there was just really subtle, or maybe I was thinking maybe like just like a dash of some pitched granular stuff swirling in there, but maybe it could be as simple as like just barely tapping a couple of keys, assuming you've got kind of a long attack and release on this thing. It could give you just kind of little whiffs of tonal variation in there, um, just so it isn't quite as straight that whole time. That was nice. That was just so super lovely. I have nothing else for the rest of it. It's really good. That kick, by the way. Hmm. Do you have a boat license? Nope, but I got pirate blood in me. Arr! Oh man. We've got a pirate day. You know, other people have like talk like pirate day or whatever. We actually have like a pirate day here in Portland where people are all walking around like pirates. There's like a festival, pirate festival, concerts. Now, what's Flo going to teach us today? Alien Rave Dance Party. We have Seafair. Pirate versus Viking, final battle. Oh man. Oh no. Okay, here we go. This one's called Insurance Core. This is going to be freaking amazing. Remember that commercial where I explained the fundamentals of insurance?
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like
Who are you
that.
talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning. Who is this?
It's Jake.
We have a savings of $350. A savings of $350.
You know, that comes with concierge claim service, local response claim service, and 24/7 live support.
You can get online. Go to the general and pay some.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Oh!
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Laser assurance. Lasurance. Wow. Does anybody else feel a little on edge and kind of hyped up a little bit? Maybe. Just a little bit. Yeah, Jake is State Farm. Liberty, Liberty. They were all in there. That was great. That was great. Oh, the lasers are real. Oh my god. Okay, Kyan. Today you're my hero. You can sample that if you want. Uh, I've never heard Insurance Core before. The internet has been a lot. It is 2024, and we've never heard Insurance Core. I have never heard Insurance Core. I've heard a lot of music that a lot of other people haven't. I've never heard Insurance Core. That was amazing. That was amazing. Wow. Hey, were you here, Kyan? Were you here on the stream where KDHD rolled in with a Bop It? He completely fucked up the Bop It commercial. You would appreciate this. Laser assurance. Spider-Man 420. I'm gonna go commit tax fraud with that pumping. That was amazing. That was amazing. Polka step. Gonna be a thing. Ben's bring it back. Yeah, for real, he really did. And so if you scroll up in this channel here and look for KDHD, oh wait, you can search. Can you search for this? Maybe. Pop it. Look for it. It's worth it. Chris is a mad scientist with a synthesizer brain. Kind, I don't really have much for you on that, but wow. That was a treat. And I appreciate you. I think you might be my hero today. Dragonleaf. This one's called Vanguard. All right, this was a jam. I like Vanguard. Crystal Synth can come up just a touch at 57. I would recommend finding just a little bit more separation between the ARP and the bass. They're kind of competing. They're being delivered in a similar spot. You know what it is? I think the bass can just kind of come down, and it's not, the bass is just a tiny bit too dominant, and it's the ARP and the lead that are a little competing with each other. They're just being kind of buried underneath that bass just a little bit. Part of this is going to be compression, right? Part of the problem with zooming in so much on this style of music is that you like to really kind of honor what that era was. There needs to be a lot more dynamic range for those elements to really kind of breathe and whatnot. So we start to get kind of confused with the prioritization of sounds when everything is getting closer and closer together. So I'm gonna back off that limiting a little bit and see how it feels too. Really, really nice track. I really like the mix on this. Like the quality of all of the audio. It's a really good palette. And those tom fills, man. Those tom fills are great. Bubble Miles. It is you. Let's do this. One's called Control. All right. Bubble Miles, this is good. This might be maybe it might be the best one you've brought by, honestly. Instant kind of bop, bop, bop. Noise bursts towards the intro felt a little dulled. I'd try modulate. I would say modulate that up, open a little bit as it's delivered for a more expansive, expressive feeling there. 57 seconds in, really nice moment. Dig the synth work here. You've got a really nice palette cooking. Assuming that you've done your own sound design here, it's you've got a really good ear, and you've found some really good stopping points. These synth rolls are well timed and placed. A sound can get old in some tracks, and you found ways to keep it just really tasteful. So good on you. 2 minutes. Atmospheric maneuver is cool, but I think you could make it wiggle a little bit more. Just make it move just a little bit, right? Just a tiny bit of filter modulation in there. Make it feel a little bit more organic and a little less flat or linear. 242, really nice art pattern in there. 251, the vocal pad is great. I'd love to have like just a little bit of movement on it, like just a little something. Yo, Martin's here. Dino is correct. Yeah, so clean. Acrylic, welcome in. Happy Friday, dude. Long time no see. I am doing well. How are you? Martin, sir, how are things? Good, I hope. Your health good? Tracks good? Any good news? Feedback queue is still open for you. Sir, I think it might be best song yet. Martin, don't play with our hearts. Come in here and saying you made the best song you've ever made yet. Oh, man. Okay. I'm gonna listen. Blackberry Gem Studios. How you doing, man? Bubble Miles, don't work on it too much. Don't change too much here. Because it's really good. It is in the queue. Okay, Martin. I'm very much anticipating. OhmLab. Non-vocal version. There's not much variation. Let's hear it. Is this what you're cooking up for the new label? Oh, Steven. Okay, I think second drop works. I think the bop is in full effect here. I love this one. Yeah, I see you, Steven. It was good. Double entendre there. Good stuff. But I want to hear that on a big system too. Right? Ooh, Ben says that fade at the end when I wanted more almost got you banned. He was over there. He was over there working it. He's probably twerking in front of a mirror, backing it up, and then it fades out. It's like, he's pissed. Poor Ben. Ardlap, I don't really have anything for you on this one. Yeah, something, mid low control in a couple spots, something. I think it's great. I think this is absolutely fantastic. Dude, seriously, modulating through all of these different ideas and maintaining your groove, like it felt like it was in the pocket from beginning to end. And that's a lovely thing. So good on you. This is good. Yeah, that's great. I love hearing that. I love hearing that from people when they're making stuff. Artlap is saying, I fell in love with it myself when I made the drop. Yeah. Stuff like this just kind of falls out sometimes and it feels all right. You know? Yeah, you should. You should post the lyric one. Absolutely. Then it was up. Let's do this. Stereo Mania. This one's got emojis on it, so it's probably great. If I've learned anything from social media. Ooh, hold on a second. Really quick before we dip into this tasty treat. Blackberry's chiming in with a little bit on the last one, saying, with this track, I would suggest mixing all the non-percussive elements and then adding in the percussive things that you actually need. You seem to be trying to derive all of the energy from the drums when there's enough in the music to propel it forward. The mix is super solid, sounds, tones, etc. But I feel like the balances are a little wonky in places, especially given the vocal removal. Yeah, I'd like to hear the vocals. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I had to stop playback because of these emojis. No, I'm just kidding. Here we go. That little warble. Can we go back and listen to the vocal one? Oh, yeah, we could, Ben. Ben, absolutely we can. Dino, this is really good. This is really good. Something Good says, so disgusting. And Dino Music says, I agree. I called you Ban. Sitting over there twirling the ban hammer all the time. I just start calling you Ban. Oh, yeah, okay. Blackberry is saying the flaming echo on the snare is a little distracting. It's taken away from how tight the music actually is. You know, it's interesting. I hear stuff like that in a fair number of the older albums. A lot of jazz albums, right, with like the kind of classic cheesy type sounds in there. But there are like now that I'm reading these words from you, like there are these little embellishments on some sounds that really, really do stand out. And now I'm wondering, like, would I think that song was better if it wasn't doing that? Probably. Probably, yeah. Santi Smiles, welcome in. I'm going to scroll down here and listen to the... Hey, look at that. Acute's here, too. We're going to listen to the vocal version of the track that we just heard. They come in at the drop. This is OhmLab.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Walk to the light. I don't really wanna fight, at least not tonight. I'm not being polite. Don't look at me if you're not that bright. Don't look at me if you're not my type. Don't look at me if you can't recite. Yo, it's not my plight, not my problem, not my fight, not my issue, not my bite. Take another tissue, man, with an issue. Next time I see you, it's on sight. Next time you see me, catching a flight, catching a bar, playing guitar. Everywhere I go, near or far. Get me a drink, let's have a think. Get me the wire, get me the link. It's on fire, burning desire. Don't wanna miss it, don't wanna blink. Meet me inside, go for a ride. Hop on the wave, hop on the tide. Split up the vibe, you can't decide. When will the pain subside? Entry level, denied. You don't wanna see that shit applied. I don't wanna see you get supplied. It's okay, cause you're not implied. Why oh why? Man don't know that it's high or buy. Man don't know that it's ride or die. Hit him in the head with a ride and fly. Yeah. Fly, fly, yeah, 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 fly, fly, yeah, 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 yeah. Right, you know me, walk to the light. I don't really wanna fight, at least not tonight. As the night goes on, you don't wanna hear me play my song. Gotta get another vibe redrawn until dusk, until dawn. We gonna dance on the lawn. All my money has been withdrawn. All the strife keep me strong. All my rights, all my wrong. All that's left, all that theft. All your energy, all your quest. You seem possessed. You don't wanna call the cop, get arrested. It's okay, cause it's not impressive. Look at me, not that blessed. It's okay, cause you're just a guest in this house.
Yeah. Yeah. I think where I fall on this one is take out the oohs and uhs in the intro and leave all the vocals after the drop, and I really like it. I really like it. Blackberry has a small revision to the earlier statement now that we have heard with the vocals, the full mix. With the vocals going To revise my earlier observation and say in some places the supporting music could come to the forefront a little bit more. Mind you, there is probably a stronger version of this song that has a stripped down vocals, the absolute best bits, and more instrumental sections. We are knocking on the door to some longer conversations here, I think. That's some brilliant feedback right there. That's some good stuff. Oh, someone is rocking Mysteria today. Something good has invaded. Let's listen to this. This one's called Red. Yo, 34 seconds. Ben, we might need to ban this dude. Martin says, "Okay, Chad is trying to make me horny today. I think I think from listening to this music." Something good says, "I can't get banned. I had a 1 hour and 1 second last time. I earned it." To which we will say, yes, correct. Last time you proved that you can do better. Now we expect you to do better, young man. Like that, I put on my dad voice for you. Something good? Wait, what's your middle name? Something awful and good? Get over here. Did you make this track? Did you stop it at 34 seconds? Get back in that basement and make more. That's totally what we'd have to do. Martin says, I'm not complaining. Oh no. Now he's been sent to Ben's office. Let's eavesdrop. Weren't you supposed to bring in something over 2 minutes or you got banned? Blackberry says, gotta say, loving how everyone seems to have moved away from boring genre derivative loop oriented music and has taken up the funky groove mantle. Dino is really hoping for a ban here. Acute says, well, thanks for that submission. It's true. If you scroll up in the chat, Acute, Something Good posted a 1 hour, 1 second track last week. It's true. Hey, my name is Chris. You can't mock me. Well, I mean, I guess you can, because I'm like there on your screen, huh? Yeah. Chris something bad is your legal name. This is great. This is great. He's still hopping on the same one leg, though. He's like, motherfucker, I brought an hour. An hour. I brought an hour. Oh, Mitsuki, welcome in. Yeah, the perfect line hold music, right? Something Good says, that hour should have earned me like 20 more 30-second tracks at least. Oh, Blackberry says, Chris, I can really tell how all your critical listening of older records is really paying off for you. Your orchestration choices and balance are solid, and liking how you're playing the space between the meter. Yeah. He only listens to Travis Scott and Nicki Minaj at the same time. It's always at the same time. All right. Oliver. let's do this. This one's called Tirma. Oh, oh. Dino, take care, homie. Okay, so now I really want to hear more from you, Oliver, because I found this one to be even more entertaining than the last one you brought by. I really like your work with textures and your use of repetition to kind of draw us in and set kind of this new baseline. Um, it's really good stuff. It's really good stuff. It really disrupts the expectations about like positive and negative space, like how you're actually using space and what's coming next. And it's great. This is fresh. It's really good. Lots of like exploratory knob twisting. Blackberry says, Oliver, I like how you seem to have an intentional arc to the melodies, phrases, and overall structure. This seems more like a theme and variation than a straight up copy, paste, duplicate. There's so much to keep me interested in this as a listener. I have the tail end of a head cold. Just the same, it sounds like you did a bunch of subtle EQ panning changes throughout the mix. Yeah, absolutely. There was a great deal of variety in this. And I like the approach to less is more, right? There was a lot of fiddling with the same stuff in different ways over time, instead of leaning more in the direction that most people have gone for a lot of years now, which is just more stuff. Let's throw more stuff in. So this was nice. Good stuff. I don't really want you to change much on this. I just want to hear more ideas from you. Get to know your stuff a little bit more. It's got a nice raw feel to it too. You guys feel that? Our lap is back. We got here. Yeah, we can do this. Let's call that kick.
me that kick. Kick. Give me that kick. Give me that kick. Give me that kick. What key are we in? Give me that key.
Brilliant samples.
Give me that kick.
Yo, just reading this comment here from Blackberry. He's talking about the lack of compression on the individual tracks and how it's a great choice. You know, ignoring the heavy use of compression. You're allowing the harmonics and tones of the sounds to breathe and undulate and interact so organically that the dynamics are really great. And you can hear quiet elements against loud ones, and it doesn't sound unnatural. Great job, Mixwise. And I totally agree. I think you should upload it. I think that this is a really good example of why so many people in this community specifically need to lean more into releasing the compression hold and the hold that is put on your music through limiting, and just kind of trust in the awesomeness of saturation and gain staging and not pushing it. There's something so intrinsically irresistible to a well-aligned sonic palette that's mixed well. It almost doesn't have, like, it almost doesn't even matter what kind of music you're listening to when all of those things are done right. You will appreciate what you're hearing. We are in the key of oh yeah. Oh yeah. OhmLab says, I actually don't know what key we are in. Trey Tobin, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Spoderman says, what the fuck is everyone smoking today with all these bangers, and where the hell can I get some? It's a Friday for you, right? Submissions open. Trey Tobin, drop your link. Martin says, saturation is my second love. Aw, thanks, Martin. That's so sweet, putting me above saturation like that. Dude. Is the feedback line long? Probably not too long. All right. Hypopharia. Let's do this. Look at all these papers. Speaking of Friday, it's called rolling paper.
Friday evening, I guess me I pray for a pass for the blunt and the rolling paper. I've been working all day and I this me I wait for a pass for the blunt and the rolling paper. Me a go get high like a bird, high like a skyscraper. Me tell you this, Friday evening and this me a pray for a pass for the blunt and the rolling paper. Me a go get high like a plane, high like a skyscraper. Working all day and I'm 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 working all day and I this me a wait for a pass for the blunt and the rolling paper. Open up the out of sight, up there smoke and clouds in sight. I could have left my land now on the county. Oakland have some good sense. And if you want the highest, then you don't need to stress. All you have to do is anyway. I've been working all day, and I'm 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 working all day, working all day, and I this me away for pass me the blunt and the rolling paper.
You are the game now, so low end can kick more ass.
Yo. Okay. So this is great. I love the mashup. We kind of heard a little bit of this in one of the other tracks that you brought by recently, where there's a presence difference between the different genres that are being brought together. And if you can either help the listener justify that, or kind of lean into it a little bit more in some way, then I think it's going to be more satisfying. You've got really great presence on the reggae stuff initially, and then it kind of dips down when the hard style stuff starts coming in. So it's going to leave some listeners thinking that it doesn't sound quite right in those moments. So, you know, if these are the results that you are aiming for, then a couple of extra little support elements around transition points or pivot points would be really good, right? Tiny little filter movements to kind of put a spotlight on the fact, right, that part of the mix is going to be heard differently now. Just a couple subtle little cues. It doesn't have to be anything over the top. You do want to try to make sure that perceived loudness is pretty steady throughout, right? We do want to have dynamic range, but the peaks, the loudness peaks, we want to kind of have the perceived loudness of those things to be about the same in most music. And that's just simply to make it easier for people to listen to it, right? Because turning it up and turning it down can be difficult. There are a couple of spots in the hard style sections where it's on full blast to the extent that when it stops, it feels a little bit awkward. So bringing down those peaks just a little bit, bringing up a couple of other peaks, kind of help find a more stable middle ground there, I think. Roku, I am the universe, so technically I am everything. It's true. I mean, science backs you on this. It kind of has to do with consciousness, though, which raises a very interesting question. Since we can't directly communicate with all of the other little creatures on our rock here, how many other creatures on this planet are actually connected to everything too? I'm actually kind of interested in this. All right, we've got, what do we have? Mackenzie. All right, let's do this. Every last. Oh, I'm not in. Oh, this is Spotify. Because Spotify just kind of sucks in how they work. Like that. Are you going to load? There we go. Let's do this. My buddy Sharuz was calling out Spotify on LinkedIn the other day. It's freaking hilarious. Put him on the spot, asking him why they don't pay out artists directly like the other platforms. Pretty awesome.
I won't take my days for granted. Take a deep breath as deep as the Atlantic, 'cause that could be my last inhale. So don't you take your days for granted, 'cause we have no idea what the fuck could happen. Taking every last detail. Take it all in as it comes, it can leave us fast in your days. No promise you could drop any minute, don't finish, go win it, go take what's rightfully yours. That's honest, I swear no fibs. I just said bye to the bro that hit. Lost too many in the past 2 years, and I widened my eyes and I woke up quick. I'm driving clear now, never know when your days are done. Never know if the sun will come. For yourself, for your closest ones. Way more to life than fame and funds. No time for hating, life's so love. No time for hating, life's so love. So I won't take my days for granted. Breath as deep as the Atlantic has. That could be my last inhale. So don't you take your days for granted, 'cause we have no idea what the fuck could happen. Taking every last detail. No use in taking your days for granted. Get stuck in, chucking both my hands. Landing cleared, runway damage. Made this happen to get where I'm standing, but it ain't like work. Ask yourself what the day is worth. No price above any loved ones first. Life is to live, it's a gift and it's something that we all deserve. No point in causing hurt or pain. Make use of every single day, 'cause no time for hating, life's so love. No time for hating, life's so love. So I won't take my days for granted. Take a deep breath as deep as the Atlantic has. That could be my last inhale. So don't you take your days for granted, 'cause we have no idea what the fuck could happen. Taking every last detail. Wanna put my hands on your waist.
Hey, a solid track, really solid track. I enjoy the mix, and I have heard others of yours that sound good. I don't know that I'd really want to steer you in any one direction away from what you're doing in any way. I do hear tiny little opportunities, though, for really subtle, kind of nuanced touches. Like if there was just a little bit more upward compression on the vocals, a little bit of active modulation in some of those reverb tails, I feel like there would be this kind of next level finishing touch kind of thing. But in regards to like what you're doing, it's great. Just keep on keeping on. Yeah, and don't get too in your head about like trying to improve. There are a couple like volume balance things that like I might do differently. I mean, you're getting good listeners. You know what I mean? You can stay true to your sound. Roku, however, Roku has something to say about the vocals. Personally, I would have gone with a different vocal treatment. I think there are nice qualities to your voice, but the choice of EQing doesn't do it justice. The whole musical section sounds fantastic, but your voice sounds a bit frail, even though you do have range to fill it up. Blackberry says this is really solid. With the mix, I can tell you didn't test this very much at a low volume. You have a tremendous tonal shift as the track gets quieter, especially on the vocals. It's important to remember that most listening is done at a conversational level. That's true. Recheck your mid-range balance, particularly on the vocals. Yeah, what there's a couple things happening there then, right, Blackberry? Yeah, it's really solid feedback actually. You know, if you were to I would be curious. I don't know if you're doing all your own mixing on this, but if you are, I'd be curious what would happen if you duped this project and reworked the mix from the ground up without referencing the first project. What's the output of the second project sound like? Like, how much deviation is there? I am curious. Because some of the stuff that I was hearing that I would personally do differently were so, like each one of the things was so minimal, but I think they would add up to a fairly substantially different kind of overall angle on the mix. Zanti Blackberry's another one of the legends in the community. He's brilliant. He's brilliant. Roku's measured it. It's over 9,000. Let's back over here. Spotterman. Spoderman. This one's called Quantum Leap. Trying to hear, Mackenzie's saying, yeah, I'm trying to work on my producing more, but everything you hear is me. Dude, I would really recommend then, I mean, if you got the time for it, swinging by on more of these Fridays, even when you don't have anything to drop into the queue, and just simply listen to the rhyme and reason of it all, the whys, not the hows, right? Like just hearing the input that people have, right, that have sat behind boards for years. Just kind of soak it up, man. Just a little track after your hard drive died last week. Ugh, that's awful. Were you able to recover anything? Roku's saying, yeah, I think the piano was covering up the mids there. Sounded like they went for a bit too much for the fullness of the piano and it covered over the bass and the vocal. Now I need to go back and listen. All right, this one's called Quantum Leap. at least you thought you left. Yeah, that's more accurate, right? What is up with those? What is up with those, by the way? Mackenzie, we're gonna circle back and we're gonna spot check a couple of these. Or actually, we could do. These are just previews, right? We can listen to these right here.
In a zoo and I'm smoking it silly. The higher the grade, well the redder the eyes. Finding a spot we can chill in, the nicer the view, the more quiet, the better to find. People I see in these streets, and I wonder if any have similar minds. People coming and goes. Oh no, you can't.
There's a little bit of hysteresis. There's some stuff hitting a wall, and it's kind of breaking up a little bit. We might want to dip into that track.
My name, my love. I wanna be there when you need it the most. I feel so hollow when I can't keep you close. I wanna be there when you don't need me at all. Let me be the one that you, let me be the one that you call. The one that you call. Let me be the one that you call.
I think it's close. I think there's the same thing that was happening in the other mix. I think there's a little bit too much bloat happening in the mids there to have good clarity, and I think that there's some low end management that needs to happen. Oh, Spoderman, I don't think I actually read this to you. I like your track. I do kind of agree with what Blackberry's saying here, which is like, hey, what's the direction and intention here? But I do like the vibe and the aesthetic. Yeah, I think I'd like to hear it further developed. Yeah, Roku, I'm thinking the same thing. Roku's saying, yeah, it sounds like the monitoring situation is not on point because all the elements and harmonics are there. They just miss definition and clarity. So a lot of that can be fixed with EQ. And I think that Roku's correct in saying that it's probably just like a monitoring situation. And also, I was just saying, hey, it'd probably behoove you to come back more often on Fridays and sit and listen, just kind of absorb and be a sponge, even when it's, banter about tracks that are not yours, because ultimately what you're doing is kind of correlating more and more data and input, right? So the more that you can compare and contrast against, the more you have to draw upon when you start to bump up against things in your own productions. That said, I do kind of wonder what your listening situation is like, and are you consistently using the same gear and using the same levels and stuff each time? Because those kind of small details are really important over time. Because it's a really long game, this engineering thing, right? To gain all the right kind of perspective over time, I think you have to have a great deal of input. The stuff that we're hearing from BlackBerry and Roku are both pretty spot on. And what we were just saying here on these last two tracks that we just kind of previewed, didn't listen to the whole thing, it sounds a lot like there's a lot of stuff that could be fixed just through simple EQ, and leaving everything else the same. Yeah, getting back to basics after plugin loss, man. All right. Sandesk. It is you. Work in place. Placeholder vocals from Spice. This is cool art, by the way. Rest in peace, hard drive. I just ordered another hard drive last night, which is like a pretty regular thing. And I just got an update. Well, I just looked over and saw this hit my home screen that it's not going to be here for like another 10 days. But when I ordered it, it said that it was going to be here in like a day. So now I'm feeling like, ugh. You know that feeling? I know that feeling. Roku. Over the years, there have definitely been different setups, up to and including raids. Okay. I just want to talk for a minute about like the importance of play and innovation, and like I know that we all get it. We're all sitting in the same room together each week. You guys are awesome. But this right here is each one of the things in the music are things that we have heard before, but all of it put together the way that it is different than what we've heard before, which is so nice, right? There's something that happens with these like very familiar and comfortable sonic territories, if you will, right? We're so accustomed to what all the other folks have done with these ideas and sounds that when we hear someone do something different with those same sounds, it stands out so much more, right? Um, yeah, I just want to say kudos for like the level of restraint and like thoughtful execution on this one. I'm looking at the peaks and like the dynamic range in this waveform, and I just really appreciate it, like all of it. It's just so well put together. And this art is fantastic. This is some fantastic art. Okay, so specifically, the arrangement between the bass elements and playing with the delay on the low end. It's good. It's a vibe. Like it adds up to something you would not have found otherwise. Acute says, wait. I put all my points into thoughtless execution. How do I respect? No, it's good. I want to hear more. So please bring more. I would be curious to hear the silence be extended for one more bar. It's a really nice moment. Right, we got the birds in the background. It's really good stuff. All very quite tasteful. Blackberry says, did you check your mix in mono? Sounds like you might have some phase cancellation summation issues in the mix that are not complementary. The depth of field and what seems to want to be an ambient oriented mix is collapsing in the center of the sound field. Could also just be the dual processing of streaming as well as modifying this image or imaging. Yeah, I want to hear this with original vocals in it. Martin. Dude. ID demo. Just exported this idea. Okay, so when Merritt walked in this morning, he says, I may have made the best track yet.
Got me up this morning, asking me to stay. Said you had fun last night and wanna spend the day. And I don't know where this is going, I don't really wanna know. If I don't think about it, I take it as it comes. Even if the sky falls down on us, it won't be a reason not to trust. Even if we turn from stone to dust, I would put a bet on us. Even if I crawl under your skin, tell me you won't take it as a sin. Even if we turn from stone to dust, I would. You called me up again and wondered where I'd been. Just had to take some time to let it all sink in. And I don't know where this is going, but now I really wanna know. The less I think about it, the further we can go. Even if the sky falls down on us, it won't be a reason not to trust. Even if we turn from stone to dust, I would put a bet on us. Even if I crawl under your skin, tell me you won't take it as a sin. Even if we turn from stone to dust, I would put a bet on us.
7 layers of serum, contact, and deep. Nice. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I feel like, yeah, this might be your best. It's so flippin', it feels effortless in the way that it is unfolding, as it, like, there's no um Yeah, it just feels like you're in the left lane of the freeway, homie, like you're just going. Roku says, Martin, I think you can break up the arrangement a little bit. Break up the arrangement a little bit up. There can be lots more space. 1 bar, 2 bar here and there to slow the pace down and let the listener float a bit more. Love the framework. Yeah, this just feels completely I was about to say like unforced or something. That's not it. It's not that it is. It's that there's just nothing in the way. There's nothing really to hold it back. You know what I'm saying? It's a really solid mix, and I really, really, really like the timbre of these synths. It's very much your signature sound shining through here. Blackberry says, you might not need that hat until after the kick comes in, the hat's second entrance, because the music, as is, sets the tempo nicely. Some of the simple swells seem unnaturally quiet given the amount of energy they actually take to produce. If you want them that quiet, try rolling back the verb and then ramping it up as the sustained decay reaches peak velocity. Yeah. These are super picky details, fine-tooth comb stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I think it is an amazing song. I don't want a lot to change with this. There were a couple of points where I thought maybe the noise and the synth layering was just a little bit too much. But I really, really love the texture, and I really, really love the decay rate on it. There's just so much to feel. So I can understand where Roku's coming from in wanting a little bit more space for the listener. That said, I'm not sure how much more space the track itself needs. Like, I feel like this is like a personal desire for greater absorption of awesomeness. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just a little bit less tape. Just a little bit. And I would probably A-B these choices as you move from this point forward. Like, refer back to what you have here. This fell out of you pretty quickly and easily, so it did that for a reason. Try not to deviate too much. Good luck, homie. That's a tasty track, dude. That is going to get picked up lickety-split. It's so tasty, dude. It just feels good on the ears. One day. Yeah, see, I agree. I think, Blackberry's saying you may not need it at all. It's not like the ear needs the texture to recalibrate, refocus the listener. Yeah. We've got some interesting stuff in the queue here, you guys. All right, this is from Acute. It's been a minute. This is called Anthogenesis. Notepad ready. Yo, acute. I feel like we were supposed to be watching a movie scene while we were listening to this or something. Like it was uh it had this kind of bigger than life feel to it. All right, so we're definitely kind of pushing loudness a little bit. And we've got a lot of different stuff happening all over the place. So in regards to having a really busy mix, you're doing really well here. 154, really like the playful energy. It's making me wonder where you grew up. I try to guess like what part of the world different people are from based upon what they tend to do in music. Really bright and shiny sounds in this one, which brings a fair, like it kind of reinforces the kind of playful energy, which I enjoy. 3 minutes. 3 minutes in, you can hear this previously in the track, but wrote it here. The reverb can be tamed a touch. It seems like the size and decay of the verb are not quite aligned with the delivery of the instruments. It seems like some things are hanging out in the air, even slapping back still as new stuff is being articulated, and that can be a little tricky for some listeners. It makes it a little bit harder too when more things start to enter the arena, especially when moving rapidly, because now there is a small amount of confusion that starts to be introduced in the varied timing of these different slapback reactions. So it's something to consider, right? The amplitude of the reverb, the definition and diffusion of the reverb, the EQ of the reverb. You should always have an EQ after the reverb to take out any frequencies that you don't really want hanging out. The decay of the reverb too, and then the overall size. I think each one of these things, if they were reined in just a little bit, I think you'd probably feel a little bit more happy with the overall results once things start getting busier. 350, just wow, the changes in the song. There's a lot that went into places that I was not expecting. And I really enjoy that in music in general. 420, the lead is being buried here beneath several things. And from this point forward, we're kind of hearing this in a few different spots, and I think it probably needs to be addressed. 440, and this is kind of going back to that same point. I think you need to make some decisions about what elements are present in the mix, in the section, and at what level, right? Not everything needs to stay at the level that it is, and nothing necessarily needs to be straight up eliminated. But I think that making more bold choices in regards to what is leading the listener at any one point in time could be made here. 554, same here. The lead is struggling to be heard due to the persistent busyness of other things like the drums and the ambience together. Oftentimes, you hear me say this quite a bit, but oftentimes as you start to get busier and busier with individual elements, as things kind of crescendo in interest and action, you hear me say often that you can reduce the level of those pads and that ambience quite a bit. These persistent sounds that are filling up the space and making it a little bit harder for the more rapidly articulating sounds to maintain a top position. 645, just impressive madness throughout. Like there are so many cool little arps and moving filters. Yeah, it definitely left me feeling as though I should have been watching some sort of visuals through this whole thing. It was really something. Let's see here. Roku says, yeah, the slapback went into hysteresis. I'm writing this for a rhythm game at the moment. There is a competition happening later in this year. Okay, now that's cool. Had I known that this was for a rhythm game, my thought might be a little bit different going into this. I can understand why you want to fill up space. Okay, so Blackberry says, Acute, I like how you're maturing as a composer. Your use of incongruent textures, tones goes beyond just trying to use something that sounds cool and clearly reflects compositional intention. You have come a long way since I last heard something by you a few months ago, and in general, the mix is pretty good as well, which speaks to good orchestration choices. Just some more comparative level balancing, and you're good to go. Have you been listening to a lot of Jean-Michel Jarre? Yeah, probably. This track came about after a trip down Tangerine Dream's discography. I love their use of tonality throughout songs. Yeah, definitely. I think that sax was lifted from some of Chris's, from Chris Christodle. I never get his name right. Work on Risk of Rain 2. Yeah, who did you do that track with, Martin? Blackberry says, I tend to have an EQ on the input stage and the output stage of a reverb. The input to minimize triggering non-complementary tones in the verb, and at the output to contour the tone, tonal center, decay resonances. I also often use an individual EQ on the send from an individual sound if it is being fed to a commonly used verb, so that verb biases are kept under control. Absolutely. Power to the EQ. There should be an EQ on everything. EQ the world. Just don't put compression on it. Big love, Blackberry. All right, Zanti Smiles. Do this. Oh, that's a lot. I didn't realize I wrote so much for a cue. I'm going to put this into a thread for you, homie. Sorry I talk so much. All right, Zanti. So pretty. You should eat an EQ so you become one. This is a great idea, Roku. I will do this tonight. The best way to cook an EQ. And papillote?
My baby fine.
Oh.
Sitting pretty, pissing on the titty. She only rapping my city. My baby been like Betty. She tatted up, I'm ready. Put a handy till they get me pockets empty, throwing 20s. My baby fine. Sitting pretty, pissing on the titty. She only rapping my city. My baby been like Betty. She tatted up, I'm ready. Put a handy till they get me pockets empty, throwing 20s. Lots of bitches taking pictures of different. You stupid wishing out the kitchen, dirty dishes. I ain't finished till I did it, till I win it, till I kill it. Only been gone for a minute. I think that they can pass me. I ain't rapping, bitch. I'm stacking up. Nice shows and thick hoes and pig rocks. 10 toes and 10 hoes and lip lock. Change flows, the same hoes in my car. Motherfucker pulling up, talking shit, you could get shot.
What is it you want, Barry? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it. Throw it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Barry. I'll take it.
My baby fine, sitting pretty, pissing on the titty. She only rapping my city. My baby been like Betty. She tatted up, I'm ready. Put a handy till they get me pockets empty, throwing 20s. My baby fine, sitting pretty, pissing on the titty. She only rapping my city. My baby been like Betty. She tatted up, I'm ready. Put a handy till they get me pockets empty, throwing 20s. Lots of bitches taking pictures of different. You stupid wishing out the kitchen, dirty dishes. I ain't finished till I did it, till I win it, till I kill it. Only been gone for a minute. I think that they can pass me. I ain't rapping, bitch. I'm stacking up. Nice shows and thick hoes and pig rocks. 10 toes and 10 hoes and lip lock. Change flows, the same hoes in my car. Motherfucker pulling up, talking shit, you could get shot.
Yo, just a touch less low frequencies on the sides in your vocal profile, and I like this one. It's got a certain... I don't speak French. I think people usually say, like, je ne sais quoi at a time like this, but it's got a little certain something, man. The juxtaposition of the higher register vocals with the deep, low, grumbly vocals, good. It's good. I like the vibe. It's a cool little mashup. Je n'as pas trop. I can't say. I'm not going to fake it. Xanity, there's a big, very narrow frequency hole in your speech intelligibly and high end. It kind of sounds like a frequency biasing problem from mixing on closed back headphones. You know, wouldn't it be great if we could have this, but not have to actually do it? I don't know if you're familiar with it, but there's a bunch of reality shows that are kind of like in the same vein. One is like they'll go into your home and it's like all trashed or whatever, and they redo it for you, right? They remix your house. I don't watch reality TV, so I don't actually know the names of all these different shows. But wouldn't it be cool if you had like BlackBerry, Roku, a couple other folks, right? We just roll into someone's bedroom studio space, right? Listen to their stuff, look at their thing, and like help them like move to the best spot in their room and like, you know, upgrade their stuff, like get to know their stuff a little bit better, and then leave, right? So they're like just like instantly more knowledgeable and in a better space. Be awesome. You are all invited anytime, says Acute. Help, my husband is an audio engineer. The series? Yeah, right. Oh man. Mizuchi. It is you. Wait a minute. I've done this incorrectly. There we go. Typing with too many fingers. This one's called Kibo. Oh, I like this art here. Do this. Hey, we did a new plugin review this morning at the top of the show. If you're looking for awesome drum breaks, or if you make music with a lot of breaks, check out the plugin. There's a link in the chat right now circulating. It's a pretty insane plugin. You pick it up, there's a good deal on it, and another free plugin. Yo, I love the arc of this track. I want um less compression. Like just take off all the compressors. I may have said something like this last time too, but it very much feels like there is a limiting of the potential happening. And part of this might be because we're not listening to the fully realized master and we haven't actually heard the things kind of blow up and expand for us yet. But something tells me that there are certain things triggering compression that you don't necessarily want to. Blackberry's comment about, hey, I always put an EQ on before, after, in between, right in the middle. I make a sandwich out of EQ in regards to reverb, right? Same. I mean, you see me do it all the time. And there's a reason why I put an EQ on before anything else, right? An EQ goes on before compression every single time in my world because oftentimes there could be frequencies at a higher peak than the ones that I actually want triggering the compression. Now, that said, there are certain things in a mix that could be causing compression to trigger that you just don't want in there at all. You just don't want in there at all. So picking and choosing when and where you're applying your compression is really super important, right? So applying compression on an individual element to help bring some surface texture up or help tap down some errant peaks or whatever to help level things out, that's totally fine. Putting compression on an entire mix, though, with big like sub-bass impacts and stuff, very problematic because it starts to clamp down on the volume output of the entirety of the mix, right? So that's one thing that I can hear happening here is that most likely some sub-frequencies are peaking and it's causing compression to engage. The problem with that is that it's engaging before we can actually hear the true peak potential of those mid-range frequencies, which is where the meat of the sound is. So I would say that that's probably the biggest thing from holding this track back from sounding really complete and open. And I personally want to fall into something like this. I don't ever really want there to be a peak that was limited that I didn't actually get to hear. I really want this like really expansive, open, yeah, just kind of step into very immersive soundscape space. I'm heavily biased because I work in a lot of cinematics projects constantly, and I'm always trying to find ways to try to open things up more, right? Allow things to stand up a bit more upright. You have a lot of really great emotional energy in this thing, and I just want to feel all of it just hit me again and again and again. Blackberry says, and when your eardrum becomes a compression driver, your ears tire quickly, making you listen louder, and it also distorts through mechanical compression of the body's natural movement when you hear in a nonlinear fashion. Yeah, so all of these things kind of add up, right? It's it's kind of similar to the effect of listening to audio with a big head cold. It's kind of what happens. Roku says, I will say this to all you folks, compression does not get you loudness. That is not what a compressor is made for. It is for dynamic control and or mixed chilling elements. If you want loudness, you do that with dynamic range like volume automation, filter automation, and more importantly, arrangement. Yeah, yeah. So this is a pretty important one, Mizuchi. I would probably recommend that you duplicate this entire project, go through and remove the compressors that are on all of your tracks, and take off volume automation if you got volume automation on there, and start mixing this thing from ground up. Start with your hero element, the thing that needs to be the thing that peaks above everything else, right? Find the level for that thing. Leave yourself some headroom, several dB headroom. You don't want to reach 0 dB. Okay. Mix everything under that. Just kind of start afresh and don't put the compression on. And when you have everything dialed in just with volume, listen back to the details and the edges of the sound, the contours and the definition and the clarity, the quality of the individual sounds, and compare it to what you have here. And you're probably going to hear that this one has this kind of dampening effect across it, where the other one probably will feel a little bit more open and like the sounds are ringing out fully. And that's important. That's really super duper important. So, and yeah, as BlackBerry and Rokusai are pointing out, look, compression is just volume automation. That's all it is. It's just going to turn stuff down when a peak comes through, and it meets the threshold. It doesn't do anything else. It can't do anything else. Samsung. Mizuchi, the compression stuff aside, I love this. I love this. The other thing that I would say is use your EQs meticulously. Put an EQ on the top of every single one of your tracks and make sure that you're taking out whatever kind of low end frequency you can out of each one, right? You don't want to neuter them. You don't want to like take away their life force down low or anything, but you do want to remove as much of that low end energy in the tracks that don't need it. So in the one track that does need it, it can really shine through, and that there aren't those extra frequencies left over bumping into other things. Dun, 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 dun. It is saturation too, Rocky. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you hear us talk about it all the time. I want saturation, not compression. And everything sounds bigger and better, especially in the cinematic world. All right, Samsung. Orange ringtone. It is you. This one's called It Is. You are welcome, Mizuchi. It's a 3-minute track from Samsung.
Talking to myself. Will I see again? We are always running for the thrill of it, thrill of it. Always pushing up the hill, searching for the thrill of it. All along, we are calling out and out again. Never looking down, I'm just an aura of what's in front of me.
Samsung.
Don't stop, just keep going on. I'm your shoulder lean upon. Don't stop, just keep going on. I'm your shoulder lean upon. Don't stop, just keep going on. I'm your shoulder lean upon. Don't stop, just keep going on. I'm your shoulder lean upon. Don't stop, just keep going on. I'm your shoulder lean upon. So come on, deliver from inside. All we got is tonight. That is right to first light.
Woo! Oh, Samsung, this is by far your tightest mix to date. Totally. Without a question. Try rolling the low end cutoff up to 60 hertz, 12 dB per octave curve, and see if it falls out of the speakers even better. Dude, you have had a couple of level ups recently, but like this is a noticeable marked improvement. Like this is great. It's boosted at 20 hertz, easy. Oh, this is great. It's good stuff. It's like sly and super upbeat and energetic all at the same time. It's that slide on that bass, man. Trey Tovin. I got nothing else for you on this one, Samsung. I just want more. I always want more. Greedy. Yeah, it is really gratifying, right? And that was a super satisfying mix that you just delivered there. It's good stuff. Okay, Trey. Dude. It's you. What's called Switch Up.
Give her my phone for long, just like a bone for strong, like a V-loan for thongs. I should take off the Joan, took that shit to the face, got a juice in my space, had to eat off that lace, cause I couldn't leave a trace. She like, you mean, but what the fuck do you mean? I just like to roast steam, it's a part of my dream, got a vision for cream, had to chill and lean, tryna cack to the seams, most you don't know what that means. The moment I touched the shit, I was out falling through clouds. It wasn't right or wrong, just had to end that shroud. Quiet, let's do it for the crowd. Help make everyone proud. Niggas don't know my town. Guess I gotta snag that crown. It's wild how I drop you and then you switch up. Say my shit ass, couldn't get fucked. Yes, online, but you couldn't say fuck. Glorified bitch, and you a cut. Can't in your minds, nigga, you stuck. Say you get hoes, but don't get butt. Only got flaws, never had trust. Always be lame, always be buzzed. Giving my phone for long, dug like a bone for strong. Like a V-loan for thongs. How you take off the Joan? Took that shit to the face, got the juice in my space. Had to eat off that lace, cause I couldn't leave a trace.
Yo, I don't know if there's anything I really want you to change in this one. I feel like you got a pretty thoughtful mix here, honestly. I do want to kind of go back and listen to this really quick.
That shit to the face, most you don't know what that means. The moment I touched the shit, I was out falling through clouds. Help make everyone proud. Niggas don't know house, never had trust, always be like.
Yeah, man, all your levels are good. You can hear all of your elements. I think the backing vocals feel a little bit more tight than last time I heard something from you. You've been struggling with mix usually. No, I think this one sounds good. And Roku's saying a little low end roll off. Taster's choice. I think this one's really simple. I think that the key to this track right here sounding so good is the number of elements that you have in the track, and the position that they hold, right? That like where they are in the stereo field and what their main focal frequency range is, right? Because these sounds naturally work really well together. So it was a really easy mix for you to like execute successfully. You know what I mean? The busier things get, the harder it starts to get. So this one's good. This one's good. I don't have much for you on this one. It's tight. Good stuff. Imbue. Imbue is up. And keep bringing it, Trey. So I do like your style, man. This one's called Moonrider. All right. Limiting. Limiting is too much. You're not hearing the transients and the peaks of your sounds. They're getting cut off. And the sounds themselves have been inflated to this artificially kind of unnatural state. So the guitar, your performance of the guitar is really kind of like minimal and almost tender, but it's been brought up to such loudness now that you can't really feel the kind of nuanced position that it once held. The synth, it is too much because the resonance is dominating as like this super bright frequency, and it's going back and forth. It's just kind of cutting everything else off. Really love the beeps, but that art might be too loud by as much as like 6 dB as well, just in the mix. So I would bring the limiting back, bring up that threshold by a lot, and reclaim all of that dynamic range, and listen to this mix really critically. I would probably bring down that ARP. Little transition support around 210. This spot here, I didn't put a timestamp on it. It was around 3 minutes though, I think. Yeah, it was around 3 minutes. So once this guitar starts noodling like this, it's taking, it's a lead instrument and it's in a lead position here, but the synths are definitely above it audibly. And I think that's leaving us, the listener, in this kind of unfocused state, right? We're like, well, are we supposed to be really just focusing on these synths? Because that's what I'm hearing. Make sure you get the limiting touched before you do anything else, because other stuff may not even need to be touched. You might have a really solid mix. I might be completely off about these art levels too. Fix the limiting first, and then listen back, critical ear, all that fun stuff. Alex says, fun track though. Yeah, always remember that everything you guys are bringing is great. Otherwise, we wouldn't keep listening to it. Roku says, yeah, I love the sonic palette. Reminds me a bit of Paul Kalkbrenner's earlier work, but then chunkier. I'm not placing his music right now. Rokusai has an update to what he brought in on Monday. Let's go listen to it. An update. Let's take a look and see if this waveform changes much. Not much. Let's listen. Oh, look at this valley floor. It's almost down to inaudible. Yeah, Roku, that's exactly what I was thinking. Your comment here, probably need to cut it all the audio at that point because there's like delay tails and reverb going on. It would feel really, really great if there was like a quarter note transparent suckback at that same exact moment, right? So as those delay tails just disappear, you get that tiny little transparent, and it's just like dead silence except for that run up, and then maybe just like a little push of air as it comes back, kind of emphasize that emotional, ooh, a trumpet. That'd be satisfying. All right. Dig the subtle ARP work there. General question. Do you find yourself to be much more dynamic after doing so much cinematic work? I know I am by a lot. Really enjoyed that little transition wiggle out of that first little drop there. 124, there was a little fiddly moment where the timing of the modulation kind of pushed against the rhythm of the music there, and it was just in that 1 second, that following modulation, I didn't feel it. 144, really love the dueling art patterns there. Yeah. I love that your music is quiet until the orchestra comes in. That noise of the bit crush in the delay as it dips out to nothing, and I'm talking about this moment right here specifically. Let's start this here. Yeah, so it's just those tiny little bits. At 420, it felt like there was a little issue with clarity as that distortion kind of reached its peak there. 442, really enjoy how it all opens up with the decay there. 452, we were just talking about. I think it's Portal. It sounds like a Portal thing. No, there is no way around it with the strings and woodwinds. This is so good, dude. I love it. I love it. I mean, you know, I love everything you do, but this is it's a nice emotional piece. It's good, but it's got like tons of really upbeat energy. I like it. I like it. Mr. Loud says, I like it too. Sunshine, sunshine, sunshine. Starbeats. Let's see what Alex has cooked up today. This art right here, this album art is fantastic. Childhood. Starbeats. I think Alex does a pretty good job in wow, look at this art right here. I think Alex does a pretty good job in general of avoiding being pinned down in a perfectly specific genre. I will say this, Alex, that when you step out a bit more from center like this, it is us hearing you, and I bet it's really nice to hear that people like it because, you know, you're kind of exposing yourself, right? Like listening to this, I can tell that you've got like a bunch of upbeat, kind of infectious, playful energy bubbling inside of you, which makes me say, dude, turn those knobs even more in a couple of spots, and I bet it just gets even more infectious. You know what I'm saying? Saf, I hope the same for you. You must be taking off. Have a great weekend, dude. Yeah, this was really, really fun. Okay, so fun intro action, really warped. Hyper energy is great. At 42 seconds, I'd experiment with adding a couple of modulators to the mix. It's already busy and pumping, but if you were to intro a bit more play, it would feel fantastic. And then at 1:30, you do this, and it freaking feels fantastic. So there are some things that you could play with. It could be something as drastic as dropping in an entirely different synth that's being part of this call and response, or it could be that you have started to modulate to random points in the wavetable, right? Or maybe you are going to modulate pitch and cutoff simultaneously in opposite directions or something like that. But I think a little bit more knob turning around this section right here would feel really good. Be a nice little precursor to what you bring at 1:30. Yeah, the automation stuff is great. I think that when stuff gets this busy, it kind of leads me in the direction of kind of giving the advice of, you know, you might want to take a couple of these tracks and just solo them and just record for like a 5-minute loop or something like that. Like just get a bunch of takes and modulate kind of randomly a couple of different modulators with a modulator, right? So there will actively be evolving change over time in those other modulation deliveries. And then after you've recorded for 5 minutes, just kind of go through and kind of pick out the little bits that stand out to you as impressive or, you know, standing out in some way. And see how you can splice those back into your original mix. Tawiko Official, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Yeah, or a beat repeat on a synth and go ham with the MIDI knob. Yeah, I would agree with that. Twirlco Official is asking, hi, first time here. What genre of music do you guys usually listen or feedback most? I'm a melodic dubstep producer. That's why we listen to all of it. Mr. Load says, I usually create video game soundtrack stuff. Long stream today, Ben. We're going to keep going until you make some cookies, damn it. All right, Mr. Loud. Mr. Loud. Let's do this. Time moves on. Volume 1. Version 1. Alex, good to hear it, man. I'm looking forward to it. Yo, drums are good. They bring quite a bit of organic flavor. You can hear that sub note hanging out there at the end. You don't need all that sub, by the way, in here. 126, that wiggly pluck guy. Let's go find him really quick. He's right here. Where is that guy? It's this guy. So it's actually at like 121. If that were to hang out, if you were to just do that little progression again, one time through, it would probably feel really satisfying to hang that one element from that first section out over these pads like that. Pads are lovely, but they can come down just a bit. And roll the low end cutoff up to 55 hertz overall, 12 dB per octave curve. Sub bass can come down a couple. You don't need that level of loudness with it. Probably feel it more than hear it in most cases. On this track, touch more verb on the snare. Subtle overdrive on the ride cymbal. Target like 7K at 0.5 drive and adjust the gain to taste. Need to be overwhelmingly loud or anything. Hey, Eric's here. Yeah, we're still going strong. We got one more. Hope that vibes with you. Helps you make it even better. Zen Papa is up. Zen Papa, you arrived at something nice. You missed the mark for Silent Hill, but this is good. I say you missed the mark because I don't feel unsettled. I feel kind of calmed and secure rather than insecure. The timbre, the tone, the movement, various levels of presence, it's all really good. But it's not piquing any sense of fight or flight or anxiety. Yes, exactly. Roku's nailed it. Open chords make it feel more like open space than horror. It's lovely though. Like this is all about release. Yeah, cluster chords for the win. Yeah, that was good. That was good. We do a lot of like big cinematic stuff around here. Oh, I did it again. Oh, several of you guys requested that I start sharing more of what I am releasing on Fridays, and I did it again. I didn't share. What do we do about that? I don't know what to do about that. I'm failing you guys. Let's listen to a couple of quick pads. How about that? And then let's see who we can go raid here in just a minute. Javar, are you still here? Did you get the content that I sent your way? Because if you haven't, let me know. Oh, I know. I could play you guys some unreleased stuff. There are some... I bounced 25 pads yesterday for the new planet. Zen Papa, that's great. That's great news. Gotta love it when tuning into a stream can actually help you. So I'm trying something new with this world that I'm building right now, in that the large majority of the drones and textures specifically have they're in D. They're like in a key of D, right? Now I'm building up these pads and ambiances and hits and pulses and stuff around it. Basing it off of the key of D, right? Playing all these chords within it, and it's actually turning out really cool. Little modal synthesis here. Mobile Miles is back. How you doing, homie? Yeah, so you can I play around with this in the DAWs I'm making them, right? You just imagine that guy being layered with like this guy. Or one of these ultra low ones. No, it actually was not Madrona. This one was Native Instruments, actually. Is it not Scanner? Oh, this is a good one. Then Papa's asking, is this all Serum? No, it is not all Serum. Hey, Bubble Mile says, I bought the Bloom vocal plugin, been using it for a while, really like it. Bubble, we reviewed their newest one, the Bloom drum breaks plugin this morning at the top of the stream. So actually there's a link for it right there in the chat. I think it's better than the vocal plugin, actually. And Zen Papa, no, it's not all serum. Some of it is serum, some of it is not. I tend to work a lot inside of reaktor, and I also tend to layer different instruments together. So some of it might actually be like an acoustic instrument that's being resampled with a synth that I've made, right? And they're being played back simultaneously and then being run through some granular processes or something. It can get a little complicated, but I try to keep the output sound simple. Yeah, Serum 2 is going to be dope. I need to reach out to Steve. Hey, who should we go raid? Yeah, these pads are fun. Let's go raid someone. I'm going to take you guys over to E-Town today. Listen to a little jungle action. Stay inspired. Have a great weekend. Make something really flippin' rad that we can all listen to next week or something. And know that I appreciate you. And I'll see you on the flip. Peace out, y'all.